As deadly as predators are, the river poses a greater danger to the wildebeest. Its fast-flowing currents can sweep a wildebeest downstream, or if the herds choose a bad crossing point, hundreds of the animals can die. Jean is with a herd in trouble.
The far side is kind of piling up of bodies, and then these guys down below just cannot get out of
An adolescent wildebeest in the herd, crossing the Mara is especially dangerous.
For an adult wildebeest, it's one thing to... In February, March this year, a lot of new wildebeest were born, so they made the journey up into the Masai Mara, and they crossed a much lower river. So they went into the Mara. The majority of the carcasses that I can see here are actually yearlings of these young ones that just could not get through this deeper river. A Hita river that is flowing as fast and deep as this right now. And you can see there's like hundreds of vultures and storks that's kind of sitting on top of this island and is now eating these dead animals. Big groups of vultures like this can consume thousands of kilograms of meat in one day, so they form a crucial part in the cleaning up of the Serengeti. It is very difficult for vultures to actually tear up the skin of these tough wildebeest, so they have to wait for the bodies to partly decompose.
Crossing was catastrophic for this group, but what is bad for one species is good for another. Although scavengers like vultures sometimes get a bad rap, the work they do is of vital importance to the Serengeti. If all these carcasses were left to rot, the entire ecosystem would be in danger of contamination from diseases that go along with the rot. Vultures feed on dead meat or carrion. They can strip a carcass in a few hours. Surprisingly, it's not lions that eat the most meat, but vultures. The birds eat 70% of the meat on the plains. There are five different kinds of vultures on the Serengeti. These are the Ruppel's griffon vultures, identified by white-streaked feathers and yellow beaks. These vultures don't make their nests in trees. They lay their eggs on cliffs.
Are white with their droppings, and they must have used this area to breed for thousands of years. And it's the ideal nesting site for them because it's not entirely flat cliffs. There's hundreds of these little ledges that makes the perfect nesting site, and a nest really into a heap, and that's where the female will lay her eggs. This couple will pair up for the breeding season and form a monogamous pair, and together they would raise the chicks. What's quite amazing about these vultures are that they need to make daily excursions into the Serengeti plains to feed, and interesting how they handle these huge journeys. It's not like they fly there and flap their wings. They would shoot up immediately from here into a high thermal. All around this gorge is extremely hot, so very effective thermals, taking them thousands of feet up into the sky, and they basically just glide down into the area the migration would be that time of year.
These vultures are the highest flying birds in the world. They can reach altitudes of 11,000 meters above sea level. They are big birds. Adults have a wingspan of just over 2.5 meters.
Only rivaled by the Nubians or the leopard-faced vultures.
Where perhaps the most important event of the annual migration takes place. This is where the females give birth to more than 200,000 young over a 3-week period.
It's incredible. We just arrived on a tunneling through this gully right now, and the other side of the plain must be tens of thousands of wildebeest. I'm certain in the next week we will see some births.
short grass plains does not guarantee Jean will be able to stay with the herds. But even the best thought-out plans are subject to approval by Mother Nature. Today, things are not looking good for Jean. A massive storm is rolling in, fueled by a tropical storm off Tanzania's coast. An entire month's rain, nearly 20 centimeters, falls overnight on the short-grass plains, turning the entire area into a swamp. The rains have triggered the herds to move again, but the heavy dump has created a major problem. Reports say the roads are impassable and that vehicles are stranded all over the plains. They are just days away from the most important event in their yearly migration, where the wildebeest females give birth to 200,000 young over a 2 to 3 week period. It is the largest mass birth on the planet. A massive rainstorm swept through the area, flooding the short grass